Good morning. Listen, I can't tell this to my parents, but I'll tell it to you because they're no longer in the position where they can have those kind of conversations. But listen, those two people built the best version of me. And I'm finally getting it. I'm finally understanding. I'm putting my pieces together. Because sometimes in order to heal from things, you got to know where they come from. And like I tell people, you got all the answers. All you need to do is invest the time. It's just like those DNA things that they have. And you trying to get in somebody's family. Get in your own family. Learn to know who you are. Because then when you know who you are, you'll understand better why people move the way they move. And that's just the bottom line. And I realized I had the best, I guess you want to say, training. And it was hard. And it took me this long to figure it out. So, like, those of you who know my personality, right? I'm talking about you too, because you got a personality. And you are the way you are today. But who were you yesterday? That's the thing. And then you track it all the way back to when you was a child. What kind of child were you? And I thought about it. I know exactly what kind of child I was. I didn't have a voice. I'd be sitting in the room and my brother's there at the daycare too, and he get fed and they didn't feed me. I was the kind of child that I thought, I really didn't believe her. But my mother told me, and I remember the times, I was like, Mommy, what was that? She says, you had emotional asthma. And you know what? It took me many years to realize, oh yeah, that is a thing. It's like, I don't even have to know you. And I can see you and your girlfriend or your wife or whatever, y'all on the corner arguing. I'm going to have an asthma attack. And back then, there was no children's hospitals. So they may have kept the children on the third floor on one side of the wing. And they used to turn the lights off. And I remember I was always being left at the hospital. And all I could see was feet walking away from me. And I'm crying my eyeballs out because I don't want to be there. But I spent a lot of time having asthma attacks. My mother couldn't have an argument with somebody in front of me. I would have an asthma attack. Do you know the kind of work that you have to do to that type of child? Because you know that eventually she's going to have to go out into the world. And if every little thing bothers her, how is she going to survive? See, that's why it's important to have these conversations with yourself, because you can figure things out. So it's like they had to desensitize me. And even though they got divorced, they still stayed on that same goal. I can imagine. I didn't even have to be there to hear the conversation. Because whatever my mother said, my father was going to be in agreement with it. And I can see her. Yeah, we're gonna have to toughen her up. What you want me to do? Yeah, always toughen her up. Toughen her up. Cause she's not and I could see my mother really saying that. Cause I know her personality. Yeah, cause listen, she can't live in a world like this. She was running out the house, taking me to the emergency room. A lot of times with no car or no bra. She gonna call a cab because she trying to comfort me in the back seat. It's hard to do that when you're driving. Like I would be that kid that when you pick us up from daycare, I was the one that didn't eat. I was afraid to say something. I said, "Ooh, you mean it?" And then when my mother came, she could look at my face and tell I wasn't. What's wrong, Kim? I give it all to her. I'm hungry. Oh boy, you can hear them people scattering, trying to find me something to eat. And as I got older, I realized, girl, don't you sick your mama on nobody. You don't have to. Because that woman don't play about you like that. So we got to the point, like, she ain't playing about her kids like that. We already knew, listen, don't tell mommy. Don't tell her, because you never know how she might be feeling that day. And then we got to do this. Yeah. Don't tell her. But as a result, like I said, when you have that kind of kid, you have to build them strong. That's what she said. And that's exactly what they did. Because sometimes I'd be like, what was they trying to build? Because you want to say you're nothing like them. But, yeah. You're nothing like them. They're two different individuals. And I'm not like them either. But to be given the freedom to speak, to encourage it, to ask how I felt, that became part of our life. How you feel? Well, I say it like that, but I was quiet. So when I started talking, listen, my mother was not trying to punish me. I just figured out why I never got in trouble. Because I was quiet. So now I'm talking. She glad to hear me talk. That I could express myself. That I could tell her when people are not doing right by me. Because you don't want to be on that list. Mommy, that lady... I saw something in my brother's class. I went home and told it. Mommy, that teacher took Tim and she swung him across the room. And I think that's how he hit his ankle on the desk. That's why it's swollen. Oh, why you told that? Yeah, you just learned. Yeah, she went to that school. Work was not important. Her children were important. And listen, to this day, I don't sit next to her. Because I don't know what she's going to remember. But I know that she put a lot into me. And so when you think about it, way before the kids came, who were you? And what were they building? And by the time my kids came, it was already built. So sometimes as parents, when we have children and they get older, and I hear it every day. It ain't just me. And they say, well, where's so-and-so? Girl, I ain't talked to her. I haven't spoken to him. People, and this is what I tell the younger people. Listen, the same way you here learning something, your parents is learning something too. They're growing up too. Everybody has to have a place to grow up. Even if it's just in your mind that you think about things. And like I said, over the years, I've been told things. I've been challenged with things. And the thing about it is that at the end of the day, it was important to take care of myself, to be able to manage your emotions. And I remember they used to be all over the place. And can't nobody bust you out about it like your mother. And, you know, like I said, sometimes you have to think about who you were while they were building you. Who you turned into. What version of you did your children get? That was the thing that I had to think about. Because they didn't get this version of me. They had the fun version of me. They had the disciplined version of me. They had the younger version of me. And just like the apples don't fall far from the tree, yeah, I didn't play about my children and they stupid friends. Yeah, you hack call me if you want to. 2 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, I'm coming to your house. Wake your parents up. Yeah, I was that. I was that kind of parent. Oh yeah, you want to play on the phone? Okay. Cause I'm gonna wake mines up. Cause see, I don't know where you live at, and I'm gonna make them tell me. Come straight to your house. Ding, 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 ding. And the thing about it is that sometimes when you get older, you forget who you used to be. You forget what they saw. I forgot. And because I have this beautiful time to spend with myself, I can track the whole history before they were born. You know? I say all the time, I was like, I don't have cute hands, I have big hands. Let me tell you, when they talk about pressure and deep, I don't want to do that. I would rather not do deep pressure. And when you get somebody that don't want to do deep pressure, because I feel like my pressure is enough. I don't want to do deep pressure because I've done the math on it. I don't know my strength. I'm learning my strength. And so I have to ask people, is it okay? Yeah, perfect. Okay. And I've always had that problem, even when I was younger. I walk up to somebody and be like, oh, just tap them on the shoulder. And they fall out the chair. I'm thinking you playing, oh, get up. Listen, everything was fun and jokes until the popo came. Oh, you were serious? She pushed me all the way out the chair. No, I didn't. I just put my... Listen, yeah. You don't know. You got to know your strength. And so, yes, I don't need to do deep pressure on people. Because I'm heavy-handed. And, yes, all my life I had to fight. And see, that was the thing. Because your smile, I had the same smile when I was a kid. And they always thought I was playing because I was smiling. But it was never, it was, everything was intentional. I used to always fight. Always fighting somebody. And my mother have to get up for her job. I tell they bothered me first. Listen, they bothered me first. I mean, listen, yeah, I'm gonna let them throw the first hit, cause if I throw the first hit and she come up for her job, that's what she wants to know. Who hit who first? I need to be in the right. I always kept getting in a fight with the same guy. He had glasses on. And one time his glasses broke. I used to fight so much, Mommy didn't even notice that was the same guy you fought the last time. Oh, she noticed. She came to me. She says, that boy wear glasses? Mm-hmm. But yeah, your parents, like, they put a lot into you. And so it's to mold you to really be what they see that you might need or they want you to be. There's a reason behind that. I was the asthmatic child that didn't have a voice, that would just let you do what you do. I mean, I sat there and I was hungry and I didn't even tell anybody. That's the kind of kid you dealing with. And my brother already ate, wasn't thinking about me. And the only person I would tell was my mother, because she's the only one paying attention to me. Talking about, do you want to go out of the country? No, Mommy can't come get me out there. I'm staying home. So yeah, that was a beautiful thing when you think about who you were then, during, and after. And can you even recognize yourself? I couldn't even recognize myself. Because it's like, oh yeah, I don't do that no more. You know, but the thing about it is that I was wondering, why do I have these reactions from certain men in my family? Why do they just step aside and just let you handle stuff? They don't jump in and be like, yo, that's my... No, yeah, because they saw how I rolled. Yeah, they know I don't... That's like me needing help expressing myself. Let me just let's say nothing, and Kim, yeah, let Kim express her own self. She'll let you know. But I discovered that about myself today. And I was like, you know what? Yeah. Sometimes when you're not understanding things, you should question it. And it's like, yeah, they don't do that because they know you. It took me so long. And they know, and your parents, listen, they're comfortable with their creation. I'm telling you, because if they close their eyes today or tomorrow, Kim is still going to eat. Kim's still going to go to work. Kim's still going to take care of herself. Kim is still going to laugh. Kim is still going to joke. And you know what? Kim is that way because they had to desensitize me. I've grown with it, and I can use logic. And the thing is that, listen, I can't do anything about death, but as long as there's life, I have an opportunity to have myself a great day. I have an opportunity to be kind to you if I can't do nothing else. I have an opportunity to be a better version of me. And I also have the opportunity to see how other people can actually view you. And that's why you felt this way. But now that you think about it, oh, Yeah, it can't be everybody. It has to be you. And when they realize and they say things that maybe at the time you don't understand, all you got to do is focus on that and question it. You got the answers. They have already accomplished their goal. And their goal was to desensitize me so that I can navigate through this world. So, I have a lot of respect for parents. Sometimes you don't get it when you're younger. As kids, as parents, because we all somebody's kid. But when you spend that kind of time on yourself in a peaceful environment where you can actually sit back and think and discover, because I always be thinking, well, who was they trying to make? Now you get an attitude because I done told you how I felt about it. Why would you ask me? Yeah. So, we've had a lot of conversations. And I always wondered, well, I already knew, because I knew what kind of parent I have. And the thing about it is that, listen, she was always doing the work on me from the moment that she realized that I could express myself in a way that makes other people uncomfortable. But it's the truth. So she spent a lot of her conversations telling me, Kim, just calm down. Calm down. Yeah. And so over the years, you have to calm yourself down. And she's always said, go to bed, go take a nap, and think about what you did. So yeah, I go taking a nap trying to think about what I did. I didn't learn nothing. But listen, now when I wake up and I think about what I did, I learn so much. It's like, oh, that's why they look at you like that. Yeah, that's why they don't jump into nothing, because they know that you can handle yourself. And your parents know that they did their job. That's why they don't worry about you. And so now they get to be super senior citizens and, on their way out and not worrying about what Kim doing. Is she going to be okay? Because they've already raised me to be responsible, to take care of myself, And yeah, they are good with their creation. I just realized that. And I'm good with it too. So I don't know if this could help somebody or if it hit a nerve or something. Because sometimes, you might not want to keep it real with yourself, but you got to keep it real with yourself because it's just you. There's always that one thing that, you just couldn't get over. And everybody else notices you can't get over it. Get over it. Do the math that you need to do on yourself to see if you could get over it. Because you know what? I was a different kind of person when I was raising kids. Single. Freshly divorced. No alimony, no support, none of that. I had 2 kids, 2 cars, 2 cats, 5 phone bills, 2 electric bills, 2 mortgage, 2 gas bills. Did I say water bill? Insurance on top of insurance on top of insurance. And then you got to take them shopping. They want to be the best dressed. Listen. I did my job. And not only that, it wasn't about materialistic things. You took off. I'll take off my job to come help you learn how to turn double Dutch. Because that's important. I will take off my job to come help you organize. Because listen, if your room looked like this, I can imagine, how do you function in class? Well, let's go see about that. I was that kind of parent. That they be like, somebody, I think it was my daughter says to me one day, she says, Do you cry? Listen, I didn't have time to cry. I got too much stuff to do. Then I got to pay for your lunch and get out of here. I got to go to work. And I did that. But I remember that question, do you cry? I remember them asking me that. Sometimes you have moments in your life that no matter how much you try to shelter somebody from something and you think that they don't see, that's why I say, you know what, kids are real smart. Y'all better stop doing things in front of kids. They're going to remember. And I remember one time there was an incident in my home. I got into an altercation with somebody, and I thought my son was asleep because the door was closed. And I mean, it wasn't a pretty, I was fine, but I was saying it wasn't a pretty environment when it was all done. And, you know, I had to call my uncle on that one. And it wasn't that I didn't need help. I was just irritated. So when he found out what I was irritated about, he decided he was going to come over. And, you know, the scene wasn't nice. And then you try to shelter your kids, and so that you think about it, it's like, you know what? That could have been a moment. That's why you shouldn't argue in front of children. And I never did. I always kept a peaceful home. But somebody came to my door, and it was like, you know what? it was a wrap. And there's a possibility that, you know, because kids is nosy. There's a possibility you saw the scene. And when you have that kind of chaos around you, even if it was just one time, it could be traumatizing. Be like, I don't know how you might feel about that person, about being in their space, about wanting to share something when you just want them to be cool. I was never cool. And then they learn, yeah, don't tell her nothing until 3 years from now, because she still got her strength. Yeah. And you know what? That's the truth. That is the truth. So yeah, when you spend time on yourself, you will uncover so many things about yourself that makes it make sense about the relationships that you have. What somebody expects of you. What can they get from you? What have you given them? Did you take something away from them? Can you give it back? My kids think that I was Superwoman. And the thing about it is that, listen, I was your parent all along. Just don't get disrespectful for me, because I don't handle disrespect well. But at some point you gotta pass the baton. That's why I don't micromanage anything. I just let them do what they do, because I have already spoken. I've already taught. Their class time is over. We can meet in the lobby and shoot the breeze, but yeah, I don't have to parent anymore. They're grown. I don't have to speak to them. When they want something, they know to call, but they're busy, and I like that, because I'm busy too, and I know my mother likes that, because she taught me how to care for myself. She already taught me how to feel about you and your opinion. They already built me so that I could survive in this world. The only problem is they built me too strong. Because, yeah, there's just certain things I'm not going to indulge in because that's not for me. I don't like your lifestyle that's chaotic. I don't like chaotic environments. I like peace. It took me a long time to get to this point. So, yeah. I don't know what they was trying to build. But I like how I showed up. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.